Hey everybody! Woo! Okay, so the last video I did was like forever ago. So I figured I would just wait till we had like kind of a breaking point and like regroup and yeah, tell you everything that we've done. So you might notice by now that my nose and like my voice is all weird because my nose is all stuffed up because I have a cold. Fantastic, I know, on this trip. Okay, so after I think I stopped off at when we first got to Honduras, and like the next morning we took a taxi to the bus station, and then we took the bus to, I can't even remember the town's names, we've gone to so many. We took a bus to a town where a ferry was. So this bus was probably like 3-4 hours, and so we took the bus to a station, and then from the station we took a taxi to the ferry dock. And at the ferry dock, we bought our tickets, and we got some Dramamine, I guess, I think that's what it's called. And it's like just to help with motion sickness, because this like ferry was like really like bumpy and was supposed to get you if you motion sickness and stuff. So we took some medicine for that before. So we got on the ferry, we started going, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, like, yeah, it was really bumpy, but I wasn't feeling sick or anything. I think I enjoyed it. I put my headphones in, and then I just listened to music the whole time. But I did get two little snippets of us on the ferry, so I will input those videos now. Okay, so after the ferry, we got to Utila. It's a little island, it's the Bay Islands, I think that's what it's called. But there's two islands, there's Utila and another island that's actually bigger. But we went to Utila, and there are these things called tut-tuts, but like they're like taxis. But they were like a motorcycle with like a built-in carriage around it. And it was so funny. The three of us with all our backpacks, we just smushed into it. And I got some snippets of Utila in the town as we're on the little motorcycle taxi. So I will input those videos now. After the ride, he actually took us. Come in. This is how you do it. You got your roll, and you got your towel. That's how you do it. You don't know. So you look. You don't. Annoying. Okay, so after the taxi ride, ride. After the taxi ride, okay, so he brought us all the way down the beach, and then he's like, wait, where are you going? And then he turned around and went basically like halfway up, and then turned down a street, and there it was. The place was called Jade Seahorse, and it was like so beautiful. It was so artsy and everything. It was like the most amazing place ever. I didn't get any video. Okay, so we got there at Jade Seahorse around 8-ish. We were just so tired, so we went off at 8. And then we came back, and then we crashed. And the next morning, we kind of just hung around, used the internet. It wasn't that good internet, so this is when I decided I was just gonna make an update video later on. Okay, so later that day, at around, I think 12-ish, me and Aubrey were both supposed to go scuba diving, but it turns out with Aubrey's past asthma problems, she was not able to do it without being cleared by a doctor, and it was Sunday, so we couldn't go to like the town doctor or anything. So she was not able to scuba dive, but she did go up above and snorkel with my mom. But I did get a little video of training with my teacher, my instructor. He's the most amazing instructor ever. It was just, I felt bad because at the end he asked me what his name was, and I couldn't remember, but it turns out his name was Chris. But anyways, moving on. I got a few videos of me learning, and so I will input those videos now.
Right there.
After diving, the next day we were supposed to go, and so we left. But it was pretty early in the morning, I believe, and so it was like 6-ish, I think. So we had to be at the ferry because we were supposed to take the earliest ferry. And so we took the early ferry to the other side, obviously back to Honduras. And so we got there, and this is when my cold all started and everything. It was feeling the greatest. So we ferried back, and then we had to take a bus. Then we had to take a taxi back to the bus station, and then we had to take a bus all the way back from where we had came from a few days before. So that's another 3 or 4 hour bus ride back to the place we had just came. And so from there, we had to take a bus from there to another town. Yeah, I believe we only took one bus. Oh yeah, we took a van. We got to the bus station, and then we took a van to the next place we had to go, and then there we took another bus to Amoa. I believe I'm saying that right. I don't know. So, and then we stayed at a hostel there. It was a nice hostel. I mean, definitely doesn't compare to what we're staying now. But after Amoa, we started the next day really early. We had to go walk up to the main road, and we had to catch a bus from there to the border of Honduras and Guatemala. And so we crossed into Guatemala, and then from there at the border on the other side, there was a van that would take us from Guatemala border to the next town where the ferry was. So we took that, and then we got to, because we had to take a ferry to Belize. So we took a van to that town where the ferry was. And this is where I think it got a little scary for us. There was a really nice man on the van, and he was so helpful. So we helped us find the ferry place, and he also took us to an ATM. And because my mom didn't have enough to pay the fare, well, we had to go to immigration and pay that, and then we had to go to exit Guatemala, and then we had to go to an ATM to get more money to pay for the ferry. So we went to an ATM. My mom's card didn't work there. And so we're like, okay, that's weird. So we kept going to different ATMs, and this poor guy kept taking us everywhere. And he actually ended up taking me and Aubrey's backpacks that had all our clothes in it, and took those for us because we were tired. And we were like, oh my god, I'm so tired. We're like we were just like sweating, and we're like, but so we took our bags. He's the nicest guy. And so we're like walking to ATM to ATM, and then finally we're like, okay, we're pretty sure we missed the ferry by now, but they were waiting for us. But so now we're like, okay, let's try and see if they will take mom's Visa card, or like take a credit card and stuff. And so they did, and luckily we were walking back, and then this girl comes up in a moped and like was like, are you the people who's like supposed to take the ferry, blah blah. And like we're like, yeah, but we can't get money out. And she's like, do you have a Visa card? And saying we can. She's like, yeah. And so we could use mom's Visa card, luckily. So we took mom's bag, and then she went off on the moped with this woman to go to the office, and us and this nicest man the whole entire road. We kept walking. We walked to the ferry dock, and as we're at the ferry dock, Mom was coming back from the office, so like perfect timing to get it all rushed on the ferry. And so it was just really scary for that moment. And then we got across through Belize, and we crossed over, and this is where it changes, because everybody here speaks English. And they also speak this other language, it's called Creole, or something like that, I can't remember the name of it. And it's like English, but like they shorten everything, and like they abbreviate things, and some are different words, and it's just like really weird sounding. We didn't know that until we got to the current place we're at. But anyway, so we got to the border of Belize, we checked in, went through immigration and everything. It was such an easy thing. Like we just gave them passports, checked them, and we went over, the girl checked her bags, and everyone was so nice. We're like, oh, English, because we weren't really used to English, because none of the other countries speak English, they all speak Spanish. So that's when we left the immigration. It was just a tiny little place. We left immigration and we went out and stuff. And we went to an ATM, and Mom's card did not work. So we went over to, like, we found an internet place, and by this time we're like freaking out. We're like, are we straight in here? Do we not have any money? And so, but Mom went to an internet place, she called her bank. It turns out they had put her card on hold because of the suspicious activity, because like we've been to Honduras and stuff, and she took money out, and they knew we were traveling, they knew we'd be around, so we're not sure why it went like that. It did, and it was just kind of annoying. So we got all that figured out. Mom went and got money on, and then we went to the bus station, and that's when we caught the bus from there to, I believe that's, yeah, and then we just caught that bus to here, and we are now in Hopkins, Belize. And so we got dropped off at a junction, and then we had to get a ride. We hitched a ride back from, and it was like a 5 or 7 minutes ride, and we it was 5 or 7 minutes ride, and we rode back in this car. And so we got here, and we went to our first place that we were staying here, and it was called Funky Dodo or something like that. It was a hostel, definitely not the best hostel in the whole entire world. Found a cockroach. Okay, but anyways, so yesterday we stayed in the hostel, but today we are staying in the Hopkins Bay Resort. Yeah, this is a resort, and it's amazing. So right now, we all are staying in a beach house. Like, this thing is huge. This is just my room, and I have a bathroom right over there. This is just my room. And outside of that door is a kitchen, and a full-size kitchen, and a full-size living room. Well, they're conjoined, kind of. And then through the kitchen and the living room, there's another door, which is my sister's room, and it's probably the same size as this, except she has a TV in hers. And then there's stairs up on the side, and you walk them up, and there's my mom's whole flat, like she gets a whole upstairs area, and she has her own like fridge and her own bathroom and like 2 balconies, I believe, or something. And she's lived the life up there. But definitely it's been, so far we've only been here for a couple hours and it's been amazing. And they have a nice little pool outside. This is the best place we've stayed in so far. But in Cancun, I believe it is, we'll be staying in an all-inclusive resort, so that'll be fun. But that is basically the end of the video. That is where I wanted to get to. And guess what? So we're gonna be on a TV show. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure probably nobody watches it because it's about coral reefs this year, I guess this week or something. That is basically it with where we are. Tomorrow we're leaving, sadly, and we're probably gonna stay here though till like 1 or something because they said we could. Check out, it's like 12, but she's not gonna stay till 1. That's exciting. Oh my god, my nose. There's a cute boy outside. I see him. He's over there with his mom. He's cute. That is